Good evening, Lisa.
Good evening, Andrew.
It's no, it's not Monty Python.
No.
It's Revenge of the Cybermen's.
Cybermen's?
The Cybermen's. That's where the Cybermen go to do a little tinkle. They go to the Cybermen's
Okay.
with Dan the Cyberman,
Okay.
as played by Charles Hawtrey.
Right, this has got weird really
It's already
quickly.
got weird, hasn't it? But what can we say about Revenge of the Cybermen? That's the trouble.
It's filmed at Wookie Hole,
Yes.
which is good. We've been to Wookie Hole.
I've been to Wookie Hole many times,
Yes,
actually.
We've been a few times. The last time we went with Warren, didn't we? And
If-
you do the tour. Did they mention on the tour that Doctor Who was filmed there? Some do and some don't they?
The tour guides are a bit naughty because they often say this is where the TARDIS landed
Yes.
in the big cave bit.
And it doesn't.
And the TARDIS don't land at all.
No. Well, it
It's
does.
where-
It lands on the beacon.
Yeah, but it's where Harry and Sarah
Yes.
materialise.
Materialised. Where Liz Layton nearly drowned. Which is not something you should really talk about, I suppose, but still.
And Wookie, of course, if you were to film there now, you'd have to be very careful with the camera angles to avoid all the cheese that is aging
Yes.
in the corridors.
Yes.
Because we had some cave-aged cheese from Wookie Hole,
We
didn't
did.
we?
It stunk the fridge out.
And we had to throw it
We
away.
had to throw it away, and then we had to do the bin because it stunk the bin out.
It was astonishing. I mean,
It was very powerful. It was, there's that the Bishop's one. I can't remember what it's called now. Cheese, which is really stinky.
oh, Stinking Bishop.
Stinking Bishop. Well, that's really obvious when you say it like that.
You're thinking of Bishop's Finger,
I am
which
thinking
is
of
the
Bishop's
beer
Finger.
that Tom Baker likes.
Yes.
But yeah, I like my cheese strong, but
Yeah.
this was beyond
It
even
was
me.
astonishingly strong. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, I always like a nice cave, and we're in Dorset, and we don't really have any caves to compare with the stuff you've got up Cheddar and Wookie Hole way. So I always like to go there. There's some bits where you've got to be quite careful there.
Yes, you have to you have to bend
Well,
don't you, to go through.
because
bits
I
of
noticed that the Cybermen have to bend at one
Yes.
point,
Yeah.
and I looked at that bit and I thought, well, I know exactly where that is, and I've evolved a method of going through there. And what you do is you put your hand on top of your head,
Yeah, so you can feel when you
so you can feel
I don't have that trouble.
where it's where the bumpy pointy bits are. And you don't have.
I
your
do
head.
have to bend, but I don't have to bend
No.
that much. I'm not quite as tall as
You could do limbo under it, could you?
Limbo, no.
But it's credited to Jerry Davis, except it's not really, is
No,
it?
it's
It's,
sort of
it's
Robert
Bob
Holmes
Holmes
again.
frantically rewriting it.
Yes.
Because I have somewhere I've got the DWB that printed Jerry Davis's original script, and yeah, it is quite different. And I remember enjoying it as a kid, but I'm not quite sure it sort of makes the best use of all its.
No.
It's one of those ones where there's some interesting stuff in the mix, but it doesn't all quite come off in the way you might hope for.
It has got good cast though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I
Yes.
mean it's there's some decent people in there.
William Marlowe is very good.
Yeah,
and-
David Collins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ronald Lee Hunt.
Yes.
Jeremy Wilkin.
Kevin Stoney.
Kevin Stoney, who's unrecognisable.
Yeah.
If
And Michael
you-
Wisher with his hanky.
With his hanky. He likes his props. He likes his props. Michael Wisher. Yes.
But yeah, it's all right. But given, I mean, this is other people have said this, but given sort of Robert Holmes's obsession with body horror that you get to see in sort of later stories, it's almost as though he sort of misses the point of the Cybermen.
Yeah, almost.
In the
I think he
the
thinks
horror
they're
of
just-
being inside that
He
suit.
just treats them as generic robots,
Yeah.
doesn't he? Yeah.
And I think if Bob had had more time,
Yeah.
he could have come up with something very interesting with the Cybermen. But again, it's the frantic thing of we need 4 episodes finished and we need to film something. And yeah, I would have been very interested to see if the Cybermen had been sort of, if they'd waited until season 13 or 14 to do them, and then they might have been very interesting indeed.
They might have, yes. Yes.
But yeah, I've got the book upstairs, and the book zips along. It's quite fun. Yes. The DVD, of course, has checks, lies, and videotape on it.
Oh, see, that's really good.
Which is one of the best extras on the whole DVD range. Because it talks about when we used to get pirate videos, because Revenge of the Cybermen being the first story on VHS.
Because that's one. Is that the one that starts with the logo, the BBC video logo?
Yeah. And
which brings about many happy memories.
Yeah, and I certainly remember getting illicit videos through the post from various
I don't think
sources.
I ever did. I wasn't involved in fandom. Obviously, by the time I got back re-involved in fandom in sort of 1990, the videos were out.
I got my first VHS machine in 1987, just in time for season 24, and it wasn't long before I started to get, shall we say, older videos. So I had a copy of The Seeds of Doom, where the sound was so low you had to turn the volume on the telly right up to maximum to hear anything. And then, of course, you'd get to the end of the tape and you'd forget that you'd done that. And the tape would stop, it would click off, it would start to rewind, and then the telly would default back to normal telly, and you'd be deafened. So, yeah, pirate videos were bad for your hearing, certainly in the case of that copy that I had. But, yeah, it's a whole different world, as they say.
Yeah. I mean,
the idea that this stuff wasn't available.
No.
Yeah.
I don't wish to sound like sort of, the old
dears.
The old dears, the 4 Yorkshiremen says, you didn't know you were born. But you know, the fact that you can go into, or not even go into a shop, look on the internet and buy a DVD of any story you want to, even the ones that with episodes that don't exist, that have been animated. I mean, it's amazing.
Frighteningly, I'm thinking 1987 is over 30 years ago, so that is actually quite a frightening thought.
Yeah,
and I remember the excitement of getting tapes through the post, and that was brilliant. What's turned up. But anyway, there's Revenge. A nice little historical sort of document.
Perhaps not the best
not
ending
the best.
to the season.
Not the best, but then.
It can't always be brilliant.
It wasn't intended to be the last story of the season, because the last story of the season was meant to be Terror of the Zygons, but it got bumped into season 13 when the schedule changed around, because season 12 starts at the tail end of December, and season 13 starts at the tail end of, I think it's August.
Yes, which is quite early.
Yes, but I think people have got worried that Space 1999 was on its way, and it was going to be scheduled against Doctor Who. So get Doctor Who in quick.
Yeah, get the audience
to get the audience used to watching Doctor Who again. Thinking about it, I think I missed most of episode 1.
Oh, right, okay.
And this has only just sort of occurred to me now, because I'm sure I went to somebody's birthday party.
Well, how remiss of you.
And I'd said I'd quite like to watch Doctor Who. And I remember that we turned the telly on just as the Zygon appeared.
All right, for the end of the episode.
For the end of the episode.
Oh, gosh.
And we'd got the time wrong.
Oh, no.
So I'd missed like 22 minutes worth of the episode, and I only got the last bit. And I'm sure that was my memory. The only other memory I've got, and this is very silly and nothing much to do with the story, is that I had a collection of little sort of rubber spiders and things like that, and little rubber. I had a little rubber hand puppet thing that you put in your finger, and it was sort of a blobby thing with 2 arms flailing about. I think it was light blue or something like that. I don't know what it was supposed to be. But I always remember that I thought it was sort of like a Loch Ness Monster thing, and I called it Zygon.
All right, okay.
And I had this little thing I used to wave it about because I was very small then. I'd probably still do it now.
You probably would.
I'll have to go and see if I can find one in the local joke shop.
Yes.
Not that there are any.
There isn't any
joke shops.
Yeah.
But it's a great story, isn't it?
It is. It is.
All joking aside,
Yes.
this is really where the Hinchcliffe era really starts to come into its own, I think.
Yes. And I know there have been some discussions on Twitter and other places on the internet about the lack of female characters in the Hinchcliffe era.
Okay.
And I would just, I'd like to say that, there aren't a lot of female characters, but I've gone through the Hinchcliffe era today, and the Graham Williams era, and even in the Graham Williams era, there's only one or two female characters in most stories.
Okay.
So it's just, it's a sign of the times, unfortunately. And something we might talk about in more detail.
Yeah, I mean,
at some point.
You've got the nurse, haven't you? And she's
scary. Very creepy.
Yeah.
And married to Peter Vaughan.
Sorry?
She was married to Peter Vaughan.
Oh, what's her name?
Lilias Walker.
Okay.
She was married to Peter Vaughan.
Well, Grouty from
yes.
From Porridge. Ooh.
You can imagine.
Yes. All right. Okay. Yeah. Well, he's quite sinister in Porridge.
He is quite sinister. He's quite sinister in most things he did. Yeah. Yes, he's one of those actors that you want somebody sinister, you get Peter Vaughan in. But we've gone completely off the subject now.
But you've got real atmosphere in this story, haven't you? It's Douglas Camfield really coming back to Doctor Who with a flourish.
With a bang.
Yes.
The only misfire, I would say, is the Scarazan, and he tries to keep it at a minimum, really.
It's not really his fault, is it? Again, it's the story's attempting to do something a bit beyond the budget, well, quite a bit beyond the budget, and the sort of stop motion animation of it
not bad.
is an attempt to solve the problem, but without chucking 10 times more money over it. You're never going to do it right, are you? But again, the music score is fantastic, isn't it?
Jeffrey Bergen.
Yes. And it's that sort of haunting, sort of high-pitched stuff that really gets in your head.
Yes.
Because I think that was released on CD, the music.
I think it was,
Zygons and Seeds of Doom. And somewhere we've got it.
Yes.
And it is one of those... I mean, it's a weird thing listening to Doctor Who incidental music at the best of times.
Yeah.
And I think the tape that survives wasn't necessarily the best quality anyway. No. But it is really, really good haunting music.
It is. It is. Yeah.
It's a very important part of the mix of the atmosphere of this story.
And when you're getting people like John Woodnut,
oh bless him,
playing
I met John Woodnut years ago, or Broton. Does he actually play Broton? Yeah, he does.
He does get in the makeup. And play.
That's him. Yeah.
Because I thought he did, and then I wasn't sure.
If you look at his top nodule,
yeah,
that's where the microphone is.
Oh, right, okay.
There's a little green microphone in the nodule, if you look closely. There are some photos which really betray it. Right. You can't really tell in the lighting. Oh, yes, I should say about John Woodnut. We met, I think, was it Nick, Paul and me, met John Woodnut at Exospace convention, and it was a signing session. It was right at the end of the afternoon. And there was John Woodnut and Terence Dix, and everybody else had sort of gone off to do something else, and so we had a bit of extra time with him
to talk to them. Yeah.
And somebody had given John Woodnut a little model Zygon head, so Nick sort of had his early video camera and sort of zoomed in on it, and John Woodnut said something like, "You should dub some sinister music over it," and he starts going, "Om nom 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 wah 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 wah," and you can hear Terence Dix laughing in the background, and he says something like, "This is Who being done on a limited budget, ha ha ha," and it was brilliant. And I really wished we'd been able to spend a bit more time with them, because they were clearly having fun at this point. And Nick has still got that bit of video, and it's a lovely little memento of that. And so brief meeting.
He is superb, John Woodnut. He's everything he needs to be. He's imperious as the Duke, and absolutely chilling as Broton. And as I think Tom Baker says it on his Tom Baker years, which you can't really get hold of anymore.
You will be able to get hold of it soon.
Oh, it's going to be on the box set. Oh, you're in for a treat.
Yes.
You are in for a treat. It's very much of its time, though. He said, I might get that one on cassette.
Cassette, yeah.
And as he says, the fact that the monsters whisper is more sinister.
Open the door, humans.
And obviously they brought the Zygons back for the Day of the Doctor and for the 2 Zygon stories in series 9.
Is it 9?
9, yes.
10?
9. It's definitely 9.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. Yes.
10 was the most recent one.
It is, isn't it? Yes, you're right. Well done. Yeah. I'm glad you're awake.
And obviously,
I'm not.
A lot of people were saying, "Stop it!
I'm asleep."
A lot of people were saying that the Zygons in Terror of the Zygons are scarier than the Zygons in the more recent Zygon stories. But I would agree, they're just different. Okay. They're still scary. They are scary, and the Zygons. I'm a bit too old to be scared by monsters these days. Okay. But
monster.
Yes, and it's a show of. Sign of the times that they brought the Zygons back, and I bet David Tennant was really annoyed because he always wanted. I mean, although he does get to act with them, and obviously he can tell the Doctor, but he didn't. He always wanted to do a proper Zygon story.
Yeah. Well, they were his favourite monster.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for that, Lisa.
Right.
We'll do the other 2 stories later on.
Or tomorrow.
Or tomorrow even. Mm-hmm. And we hope you enjoy the way season 13. And 14?
Yes.
We'll go.
Yes.
Because I know I do.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.